Greetings, everyone. I'm Luke Bryon Smith, and welcome to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved. I am absolutely excited today, but I hope everybody's doing well. Wait, I know everybody's doing well. I have faith. I believe. I just know it, and everything is just unfolding perfectly, even if it doesn't seem like it. Now, back to what I was saying. I'm excited because I enjoy doing this show. I enjoy engaging in amazing dialogues with people around the world. And today is no different. I have Kim O'Neill. And before she tells you anything about herself, I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. So Kim O'Neill is an authentic confidence coach and meditation facilitator, helping professional women to embrace more of their spirituality, reconnect to their inner light, and self-lovingly move forward. Kim is also the inspirational host of the Every Day is a New Day show, an award-winning 3 times Amazon best-selling author, twice certified transformational coach, specializing in authentic confidence, interview skills, and law of attraction, a Reiki master, former crime analyst, and the creator of the Let Your Light Shine movement. Wow. Kim believes that when you shine, our world shines. Let your light shine. More info, KimO'NeillCoaching.com. Wow, amazing, Kim. How are you today?
I'm good, Luke. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm really excited to be here on your show. So thank you.
Yes, I appreciate you being here and spending some of your time with me. And let's just get right into it. So you have such an amazing, even in this short bio, and thank you, by the way, for sending me a short bio. A lot of people send me a whole novel, which is great, but it's hard for me to kind of, reference to that. But
I get it.
Let's just get right into it. And I'm sure there's more to it, to you than this, but it's so many amazing things. So you're an authentic confidence coach and meditation facilitator, helping professional women to embrace more of their spirituality, reconnect to their inner light, self-lovingly move forward. Let's just talk about that. How did that come about that you do this, that you work with women and that you became this confidence coach? I mean, where did that begin?
It's been a journey. I'll try to give you some bullet points, and then we can string the pieces together. But basically, ever since I was a teenager, I knew I wanted to have a profession where I helped people. And I imagined that as being some sort of therapist. And as my journey, as I continued on my journey through life and started pursuing a therapist degree and that kind of thing, and this was now like 10, 12 years ago, things just kept like roadblocks, one after the other. And it didn't make any sense because I'm like, I know this is my path. And lo and behold, I decided to consider coaching. And as soon as I said yes to coaching, everything started flowing. Now, that's not to say that it's been entirely a smooth journey, because I believe there's I think as soon as we say yes to any new thing, okay, great. Well, then here you got to learn about this and you got to learn about that and you got to learn about this. But what I'm saying is it started about 10, 12 years ago, moving in the direction of coaching. And then all the energy healing components, the podcast, all these other things started showing up. And in the midst of that, while I was deciding to pursue that career path and wanted to be as knowledgeable and trained as I could be, I decided, you know what, I have to just start now. I can't wait until I've got the millionth certification or degree or whatever it might be to start helping people. What can I do right now? And so for me at the time, I looked at all my skills, what I liked, what I could really do, what I already had success with. And that was helping people with their job interview skills. Wow. So it started with this desire to help, then moved towards helping people prepare for their job interviews. And that was very, very rewarding, helping them feel more confident. They already have it all. I just help kind of take out the myths, help them boost, realize how awesome they are. And then they can show up and they get the job. Anyway, so as that was taking place, the interview coaching, plus as I was continuing to learn and grow myself, then eventually just had this natural progression of helping people feel more authentically confident with who they are, who their true inner self is. And healing aspects of that started showing up. So yeah, and I work with a variety of people, but professional women tend to be the ones who show up most.
Your core clients.
Exactly.
That's amazing. And if I may elaborate, um, one key thing that stood out to me, well, a lot of key things. That's amazing, by the way, that you are a testimony that what you said, that you don't have to wait till every piece of the puzzle is just fit right in before you move forward. You can still be a work in progress yourself and still help other people. And matter of fact, what I found is that when you are a work in process, you can come from a more authentic place because you are experiencing things, and through that experience, in setbacks and things that you're overcoming, you can help to elevate other people. It's amazing.
I think that's a fantastic observation. And I agree with you. And I would also say that depending on what the individual's challenges are, it can kind of be this catch-22 thing. Because let's say you're putting yourself out there, you're like, I'm not waiting, I'm going to do it now. And you put yourself out there, and then some of the stuff you put out there starts to work against you because you weren't totally ready, right? But
right.
the way
It can go that way too, but in your case, it didn't.
well, to me, it's everything serves a purpose, everything. So even those moments, if you're like, oh, I can't because I'm not good enough at this or that or whatever it may be, then that's the very thing you're probably gonna learn early on and improve upon. And so for me, one of the big things is I really had to release this degree of perfectionism that was showing up. And that was a challenge. So, when I first started doing a podcast and putting myself out there as a coach, but specifically the podcast, I was like, oh, I have no problem with this because I had done theater and singing and things like that in school. So I just felt kind of a degree of comfort with it. And as soon as I started to actually then put myself out there as a podcaster, it's like, oh, this is no longer about like playing a role or doing something that someone else has put together. It's now me putting myself out there as a professional. So all the mind chatter, all the limiting beliefs that start to show up and you're putting yourself out there, it gives you stuff to work through. And the beautiful thing is that if you stay on the journey, you will work through it, you will move through it, and then you'll get to be just your regular awesome self. And so I hope that doesn't discourage anybody. My point is it all serves a purpose. And like you said,
that's encouraging. No matter what, no matter how it goes, even if it seems like it's working against you, it's still serving a purpose. And that's
totally
what I got out of what you just said.
It totally is. And to me, it's, if you're seeing those moments more than what you want to see, then use it to your advantage. You don't want the go-to mind talk to be, oh, look at this, I didn't do so well, therefore I must not be good at this end game. Right. No, it's okay, but what did you learn about it? What was good about it? Because there's always at least something good about it.
How did you grow? Yes. There's always some way for you to grow or learn something new from,
absolutely,
whatever you encounter, whatever your circumstances are.
Exactly. How are you inspiring the next person who wants to do something similar as what you're doing? And you're showing them, hey, look, you can show up as your imperfect self and, and still accomplish what your goals are. So anyway.
Wow, amazing. Moving forward. That's amazing, by the way. I want to know a little bit about this Every Day is a New Day show. I mean, how did you come about with this, and what all does it entail? I mean, what is it, the main focus of this?
So thank you. Great question. So Every Day is a New Day, inspirational conversations about moving forward and choosing to be more of you. And so I've been doing that show since about 2015. And where it originally had a different title and everything, but it's ultimately, it's, similar to your show. It's about highlighting people who have been on a journey. They've learned through their journey. They now are helping others in the world to some degree, whether it just be with their message and who they are, or maybe it's their actual profession, but it's all about bringing people back to knowing how amazing they are. And that it's not about all the mishaps that happen along the journey. It's about, what are you doing with those? What is it teaching you about who you are? And I really do believe everybody is amazing. Everybody has gifts. Everybody has talents. And it's only when we're not allowing ourselves to own it for ourselves, to, appreciate the lessons and love ourselves through them and all of that, that's when our light begins to dim and we don't, right? We're not in that space of remembering and knowing who we are.
Wow. Wow. Well orchestrated. And where do you do this? this show, do you have it? Is it on your channel, on your website? How do people watch the show, or become, maybe even reach out to you to become a guest or something? Or how does that process work?
Great question. So the Every Day is a New Day show, well, right now I'm kind of doing a couple things differently, but we air live on Facebook and YouTube, and
Okay.
it's a video show as well as a podcast. So after we record the video, then it gets uploaded to traditional podcast platforms. And like I said, right now I'm kind of doing things a little bit differently. So now I've got pre-recorded options for people, and doing a few more solo episodes and guest episodes. But absolutely, anybody who's interested, they can definitely go to KimO'NeillCoaching.com. There's a tab at the top for the Every Day is a New Day show. And if you just scroll down, you'll see a form to fill out if you're interested in being a guest.
Wow. So what's the schedule to show? Is it on every day?
It's not every day. Yeah. Whenever I get asked that, I'm like, oh no, we can't, we're not doing that. It's a little too much. Okay. No, but that would be great. So no, it's all about reminding people that every day is a new day. So right now, the schedule is a little loose. The schedule is as it fits into my current schedule.
Goes into with the flow. Yeah.
Exactly.
Same with me with this show. It's not, I don't have a schedule. I record a few segments, and then I start to upload them at various moments. I just go with my intuition and my inner guidance system, and I go like that. So it's not like, I've had professional people tell me, you need to do a schedule, so have it come out that way. People expect it to come out on every Wednesday, every Friday, and I do get that point too, though. So I'm not totally opposed to that, and I think that's a good idea as well. But at the same time, I have to follow my own inner guidance system and say, well, that's not what I feel right now, even though from a professional standpoint, or from gaining, an audience standpoint, or more followers, that might be more sound to do it that way. But I'm just following, what's in here.
I'm right there with you, Lou. I get it.
Yes. So that's what it is, because I don't want, the thing that I don't want is it to become not fun.
Yes.
In a task, like, oh, I got to hurry up and record this show today. And I don't want that energy into it.
Yep.
So I do it when I'm ready, and I release it when I'm ready. So that's it. So let's talk about this. Also, another amazing thing, 3 times Amazon best-selling author. So, wow. What you have, how many books, or a book, or how'd you become a 3 times best-selling author? I mean, what's going on here?
Yeah. You know what? So it have started with one. It started with setting an intention for, I'm ready to be in a book. I'm ready to be published. I want to do that. And then sifting through the opportunities. And then before you know it, a few years later, there ended up being 3. So they're all collaborations. 2 are anthology books with, each author has a chapter. And then the second one is a collaboration with someone who is a really fantastic photographer, and we created a beautiful book together. So yeah, all of those are on my website. They all aim to do, more of just helping to remind people of who they are, and that overcoming adversities is possible in every situation. And I don't know about you, Lou, but here's what I've noticed, because I also have been a big fan of, I love hearing about people's stories about, like, wow, what did they overcome, and how did they get to where they are, and that kind of thing. And what I found is, okay, that's great. You start to build up this arsenal. The more stories you listen to, you start to build up this arsenal of, well, if I'm ever in that kind of situation, I could, take some pointers from that person, how they got through it. Or if I'm ever in that situation, I can take pointers from that person, and that kind of thing. But then what I've noticed, and I think this is likely to be true for everybody, is that so many of us have our very own unique story that no one else, maybe in the present moment while we're going through that situation, could exactly relate to. It's not to say other people can't identify or help us out or anything like that, but I'm just saying there can be elements to where you feel very alone on your journey. And what I feel like I've learned about it is, you have to remember that all those other stories of people overcoming their adversities, they had moments like that too. And so just because you may be like, I don't know anybody who's gone through this or overcome this, that's going to be your success story. That's going to be your story of how you were, the I don't know, the warrior, the person who came out on top, and you're going to be able to tell your story to tell, to other people. And that's going to help inspire them. So I don't know, just wanted to share that little bit, because I think that can get lost in the mix when people think, but no one's ever dealt with what I'm going through.
Right. And it just feels like your world, at that particular moment, your world is caving in and you're alone and everything's against you or something like that. But no, everybody has something that they're overcoming, or something that they've been through or went through, even if, just some people are just really good at, I don't really want to say hiding it, but just really just overcoming it and just not staying in that space. And some people aren't, they stay reflecting in that space, and someone extraordinary like you can help pull them out of that space and use that as an advantage, what they've been through. And that's amazing. Wow. So let's keep it going. Can you elaborate a little bit on, you used to be a crime analyst, and before you do, now I thought about a long time ago being in like law enforcement, and I wanted to do, not a police officer, but work like in forensics and things like that, work in those labs, testing the blood,
Yep.
things like that. When I watch, I've watched shows like that interest me a lot. So
right.
Crime analyst, what does that entail?
Okay. So what you just described, now it's been a few years. Oh my goodness, I'm blanking a little bit on the exact title. What you just described is what a lot of people think crime analyst is.
Yes.
But it's not exactly what I did. That was more along the lines of like a forensic analyst, someone who's in the lab looking at, the fingerprints and all that kind of stuff. My job was, I was in the office looking at, what are the reports saying? What evidence do we have? What are the trends that are taking place? Is there a series of crimes, and where are they taking place? To whom? Looking at all those different possibilities. What kind of cars are being used? What are all the patterns? And then being able to both prevent future crimes, but also put the puzzle together so that we can help solve existing crimes. And so it was fun. It was interesting. A lot of work working with both the police officers and the detectives. Very interesting job. And I was grateful to have that for a while. And then it came a time where it was time to move forward with more of the coaching and healing work that I did.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was going to say. And you end up transitioning, obviously, out of that. So that really wasn't, even though it was interesting, that wasn't your, and it served its purpose at that time, but
it did.
It wasn't your ultimate calling. Otherwise, you'd still be there.
Exactly. I mean, there are people there, doing that job for years on end. And I think that's freaking awesome. I applaud them for that. It just wasn't my lifelong path is all.
Right. And how would you know unless you did it and went through it, transitioned through it? Yep. So that's amazing that you work with people, and wow. Okay. And you're also the creator of Let Your Light Shine, the Let Your Light Shine movement. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
That's an extension of, what I was saying earlier about just how I really believe everyone is so amazing. And I feel like I come across people who aren't fully loving themselves, aren't fully acknowledging their own gifts, allowing themselves to be seen and heard in the world. And I want everyone to know that it doesn't matter how different you are. It doesn't matter how similar you are to other people. You're still unique. You're still awesome sauce. You are here for a reason. And I just, so anyway, so it was birthed from that. And I kind of got this big inspiration to, put this together and create a movement. And when I got the word movement, I was like, what? Because I never saw myself putting together anything called a movement, but it's still on its own journey, progressing at its own pace. But I created that in 2021. And it's nice to see that when I'm not actively promoting it, there are still people that are seeing it and signing up. And so to me, that tells me, okay, there are people who are choosing to own their light and their gifts. And I'm grateful for that.
Amazing. Wow, that's amazing. So what I was going to ask you is, how can people find you? Like, okay, your books. You never did you say the titles of your books?
I did it. Oh, look at you. Okay. So the first one is called Positive Minded People. Oh
Positive
goodness.
Minded People
Okay. You know
by
what? You know
Kim
what?
O'Neill.
The books have really long titles. I want to give you the exact titles so we're not cutting anything short. Okay. The first one is Positive Minded People, Inspiring Stories of Overcoming Adversity for Living a More Positive Life. And I am one of several authors in that.
Okay.
My second book was called You Are Loved, an Inspired Meditative Visual Journey. And that's the one that's a photography book. And it takes the reader on a beautiful journey. And then the third book is the award-winning one. And that's Navigating the Clickety Clack, How to Live a Peace-Filled Life in a Seemingly Toxic World. And that one features Jack Canfield, Bob Proctor.
Wow. Love
Lots
Jack
of
Canfield. Love Bob Proctor. Rest in peace. He transitioned not too long ago, and love Bob. I'm a big fan and student of Bob's and Canfield. I have a few of their books too as well. So amazing people, amazing mentors, and you're in the book with them. So I'm gonna have to pick that up myself. How can they find these books? On your website, on Amazon? How do they find these books?
Best, easiest way is go to KimO'NeillCoaching.com. And for anybody who's only listening, O'Neill is O'Neill. And yes, there's definitely links to the books, the podcast, all my coaching, all that stuff on the website.
Yes, and that was going to be my next question. How can people find you, and how can these amazing professional women that might need a little bit of guidance and coaching find you? KimO'Neill.com, right?
KimO'NeillCoaching.com. Yes.
KimO'NeillCoaching.com.
Yeah. And on there's a simple link to schedule a free one-on-one consultation call. I have it labeled as a free coffee chat in some places. I will just say that there are amazing women in the world who have found themselves caught up in a cycle of disempowerment. And I want them to know that is temporary. You can get back to who you are and even then some. And I love taking women on that journey to, reclaiming their light and feeling more powerful and confident in who they are.
Wow, that's amazing. And what an amazing gift and skills and just that you have developed through your own unique journey. And it's amazing how you're able to put all of these together, your education, your life experiences, and people that you've encountered, and roll all this up into this knowledge that you can pour out to other people. Amazing.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you.
That's amazing. Wow. And what are those behind you before we go? What is that certificate down there? I see something over there on the right side.
Okay, this one here?
Yeah, is that a diploma?
This was my first coaching certification. So
okay.
It's from a graduate university, and comprehensive evidence-based coaching. And then here was just my bachelor's degree in communication studies.
Oh, just your bachelor's degree. Okay. Yeah, everybody has one of those. Amazing. Amazing. You're an amazing person. And thank you very much for coming on my show today and just sharing some of your time, because I'm a firm believer that time is one of our most precious assets. And for you to share a moment of your time in history here with me, I'm very much in gratitude and appreciate it very much.
Luke, thank you so much. You are such a bright light and positive energy all the way. I love the language that you use, and it showed from the first time you reached out to me, and just the language you use, it just highlights how aligned you are with positivity and your messaging. So I just commend you for that, because that is a huge example to people. And I thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so thankful that I'm able to draw extraordinary and just beautiful people such as yourselves into my experience. It's just amazing. And I just, I have to pinch myself sometimes and say, man, I got this next amazing person on my show. Just wow. And it's just amazing. And it's something, and in the fact that it's recorded, something it's timestamped now in history now. So 20 years from now, I can still look at it. Or when I'm no longer here on this planet, people can look and say, hey, wow, these were amazing people having amazing conversations. Beautiful, beautiful.
I feel the same way, Lou. That's how I feel when I'm talking to people on my show. I like you, Lou.
Yeah.
I would love to invite you to be on my show as well.
Yeah, let me know. I would more than happy, to do it. Yeah, and you let me know how to do that. But also, any links that you sent me will be in the description of
Okay.
this video when I upload it, so everybody can just click on it. They can click on the Kim O'Neill coaching and all that, just right from the description. And I encourage everybody to do that, especially you. She specializes in professional women, especially professional women out there that happen to see this show. Click on there and have a chat with Kim. I encourage you. Thank you very much, Kim, and thank you everyone for watching here, Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved. Love and appreciation to everyone. See you soon.